Paired sample t-test. Paired sample t-test. So why it is? So it is very useful in clinical trials. So any drug is manufactured by the company, and before it gets into the market, so they have to do a paired sample t-test. So that means, so they will see, for example, they are developing a new drug for diabetic. All right. So the effectiveness of the drug is it has to decrease the glucose the level. All right. So the points. So it has to reduce the points. So what they will do is, they will take the normal patients, the diabetic patients, and they will measure their glucose level, and then they will ask them to take that particular medication for 1 or 2 weeks, and then they are a month, and then after that they ask them to come back, right? And then again they will measure their the blood glucose level. So whether there is any changes in that. Okay. If the change is significant, then they can market that drug is effective in terms of reducing the blood glucose level. So here, why it is called a paired sample? Because we are using the same patients, right? So before and after administering the drug. So you take the blood pressure of 10 or 15 patients now, and after taking the drug, you're measuring their glucose level. Okay, so that's why it is called a pair. So that means they are dependent samples. So the sample which is used the first time, the same samples is going to use it again for the another occasion. Okay, so that is why it's called a paired sample t-test. Okay. So now I'm going to give an example here, right? The 10 beers are weighed in pounds in November, that is in winter season, and March, that is in the spring season, to test if their mean weight difference is significant. So the data is presented in the following table. So I'm going to have this winter and spring. So the winter I take it as x1, and the spring I take it as x2. All right. And the D is equals to x1 minus x2, and then I need to open up column D square. Okay, D square. So these 4 columns are very important. So I'm taking this 300, 420, 550, 985, 1100, and then 1200. Okay, right? So 935 here, 1050, and then 1110. Okay. So I have the 10 beers and their weight in pounds in winter and the spring. Okay. So now I'm going to take the difference between these two. So these differences are 20, 50, 50, 30, 60, 50, 10, 50, 50, then 90. Okay. So now I'm going to square these numbers, and I'm going to write here square of these numbers. So 20 square is 400. This 2,500, 2,500, 900, 3,600, 2,500, 100, 2500, 2500 and 8100. Okay, so I have these information. Okay. So now I'm going to calculate the sum of this. So the sum is 460. The total of this column is 460, and the total of this column is 25,600. I'm getting this. Okay. So now what I need to do is I have to calculate the mean of these differences. So that is D bar. So that is equals to sum D over the number of pairs we have. So that is equals to summation D is 460 divided by n is 10 pairs I have 10. So that is equals to 46. Similarly, I have to calculate the standard deviation of these differences. SD, standard deviation. So SD means the standard deviation for the differences. Okay, so that is same formula, sum D square minus sum D the whole square by n the whole divided by n minus 1. So the square root is for whole thing. Okay, so that is equals to, that is summation D square is 25,600. So 25,600 minus sum D the whole square. So summation of D is 460. So 460 square divided by n. So that is 10 the whole divided by 9. This is equals to 25,600 minus, so the 460 square divided by 10 gives me 21,160. The whole divided by n minus 1, that is 9. Okay, square root of this. So this will gives me square root of 493.33. So this is equals to 22.2. Okay, so this is, so before getting into the problem, I need, because it's a raw data they have given, so I need to calculate the mean difference and also the standard deviation for those differences. Okay, so I got that now. So now I'm moving on to the testing of hypothesis problem. So what is the step one? Step one, we need to define the hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. So H naught is, I'm using mu population mean difference, mu D, mu suffix D stands for the population mean difference. Okay, so which is equals to 0. So what does it mean? The average weight in winter and the average weight in the spring has no difference, equal to 0. All right, so that's what the problem says. Test the hypothesis at 1% significant level that the change in weight between winter and the spring is 0. Okay, that means there is no effect. And the alternative hypothesis, what is the alternative hypothesis? There will be, if not equal to 0, equal to 0, the weight may be different. Okay, so not equal to 0. So mu D is not equal to 0. This may alternative hypothesis. So this is a two-tailed test. Okay, because the not equal to sign is there. So it's a two-tailed test. Okay. And the level of significance here, step 2. Step 2, you need to define the critical region. Critical region. So alpha, the level of significance alpha is testing at 1% significant level. So it is 0.01. Okay. Since it is a two-tailed test, so you need to calculate alpha by 2, that is equals to 0.005. Okay. And as you know, n equal to 10. Okay. So therefore the degrees of freedom is equals to n minus 1. So which is equals to 10 minus 1 equal to 9. Okay, the degrees of freedom. 10 pairs you have, so 9 will get. So you cannot add, right? So it's pairs because the same 10 pairs were tested in the winter as well as in the spring. Okay, so the same sample is tested 2 times, right? So that's why it is called a paired t-test. Okay, so you have this information now. So now we have to proceed with the step 3.